Okay, day 2, and I just realized I might have chocolate chip on my lips. Okay, so we are doing the challenge, and this is day 2. And so we are eating up the end of the banana bread you saw that was from before the challenge. I had a couple things that were left, but on Sundays, today is Sunday, we eat 2 breakfasts because our church has breakfast.
Pigs.
Our church has breakfast most weeks, but we don't eat at church till 9:15, and the kids are used to eating around 7:30. So we ate a little bit of banana bread. We usually have a small snack. Sometimes we'll have like string cheese and a banana, or an apple and some peanut butter, just something small to get them through. But what I made this morning, I will make again in the week, and I'll show you the process of making it. But I made like a cinnamon pull-apart bread. Oh, it's hard to unwrap. It's all wrapped up so it stays warm for church. So it's like bread with butter and cinnamon sugar in between is what we made for church today. And so we're going to cover that up so it stays warm as we go to church. But I was just going to tell you what I did if it came out really bad. And okay, don't try this recipe, but it filled bellies. But it actually came out good. So I will show you later in the week how I made that. It was really easy and it was good, right? You took a bite? We took a bite to check it to make sure we were taking okay stuff to church, right? Are you being silly? Yeah. And so now it is 5 minutes of 8 and we need to start the car because we live in Maine and it's cold and we need to have the car going before we go to church, right? So say bye. Cameraman's going to start the car.
See you after church.
Bye. Day 2 lunch. Our Sundays are super easy for meals that we make. So we have leftover rice from yesterday, leftover beans from yesterday, the taco meal, and then a portion of the pork that I had saved out for today. We warmed that all up together, threw a little bit of cheese on top, and we're all having an orange because we have been sick and we went to church today, and it's that time of year that everyone's passing sickness. So we're trying to get some good vitamin C in, and we will be back later. Today's meals are just super easy. So if you want to see more fun cooking, come back tomorrow and we'll do more of that. But today, this is what we're having. Is it good, guys? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Fills bellies, right?
Well, I don't know about this.
Oh, your orange is good though? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like oranges. We're glad Grandma got us some oranges, right? Okay, see ya at supper time. Guys. So, no, it's okay. We can do it. Okay, so this is a cooking challenge video, and I'm in my new bedroom studio that Mark made me with a baby doll, and yeah, anyway. So today's Sunday, and on Sundays we really limit our amount of time we're doing chores and stuff in the kitchen and all of that. So I didn't videotape anything this evening of what we ate. We did eat supper. So for snack today, I told you I had made like the cinnamon pull-apart bread that we took to church, which came out really good.
It was good.
So because I don't know when I made the video.
I don't remember. Sorry, I'm trying to get your hands. I realize you're talking with your hands.
Okay, so last night I took the bread and I cut it and put it in the pans. I think I told you this. I don't know. I'm going to tell you again. So if you already heard this part, just zone out for a couple seconds. Okay, so I cut the bread from the refrigerator dough, and I'm going to make this again for you, so I'll show you. But I took the slice of bread, uncooked, dipped it in butter, put it in the bread pan. And I took another one, uncooked, dip it in butter and cinnamon sugar, and put it against it. And then I lined up all these cinnamon sugar pieces of bread. We cooked it, and then poured it out, and you could like pull the pieces apart. So anyway... Sorry, my daughter's over here making funny. Okay, so anyway, so we cooked that we took 2 loaves of that for church this morning. I thought last night when I made this, I was only going to make 2 loaves, but about 20 minutes later, I went out and they were going over the top of the bread pan in the fridge. So with the help of a few people, because it was a multi-person job, we cut them in half. Like, so we have the bread pan, we cut them in half, and then we had to scrape out half of them, trying to keep them together into what ended up being 4 bread pans. So took 2 of those for church this morning. They were good. So at snack time today, we baked up 1 that was still in the fridge and had that for snack. And that was really good. At breakfast, the kids had some of it, but they didn't have a whole lot because it was a buffet and they ate different things. Anyway, supper tonight. I had cooked up all that ground turkey with peppers and onions in the crock pot this evening. I put, sorry, not the crock pot, the Instant Pot. I put 4 cups of dried beans, and I added 10 cups of water plus some chili powder, some garlic powder, stuff from my pantry. Did I add anything else? No, I think that was it. And then cooked that for 45 minutes. on the bean setting. When it came out, I put in a can of diced tomatoes and some of the turkey and stuff you had seen me cook up. I also put away the rest of the turkey tomorrow. So this is day 2 of the challenge. The start of day 3, I will give you a tour of what's in my kitchen because I've started to put stuff away that's going in the freezer for other days and stuff. So anyway, all of that to say, our dinner tonight was a simple chili with refrigerator dough rolls. The refrigerator dough was not made properly because I made it, and usually Naomi makes it. It calls for 6.5 cups of flour. Yeah, 6.5 cups of flour, which she told me. In the middle of me making it is when I realized that my bread pans were going to overflow in the fridge with the other thing. So I called Mark out to help me with that. And then I was like, oh, wait, I don't know how much flour I added. So I asked her, should I add a whole nother cup? She said yes. She wanted to check it after that, but I didn't know that. So after I got done adding another cup of flour, I threw it in the fridge. Well, when we went to make rolls tonight, we realized it was a little soupier than usual. The rolls still came out. They were just kind of bleh instead of bleh.
Yeah.
They weren't like this. They were like, but that's okay. So anyway, everyone had rolls with butter and chili tonight, and everybody enjoyed it. So it's been this is a real life cooking challenge for you. We were sick the last couple days, and today we're feeling better. We went to church and all of that stuff, but Malachi still has a cough because we think he might have asthma like his older brother. So he just, like, it all sits there.
And his father.
But, and his
else.
father, yeah. Other people's. Both Virginia and Samuel were diagnosed with asthma when they were younger. And Virginia no longer needs an inhaler at all. And Samuel, I don't think, has used one for a couple years. So it's not something, like, it's something that our kids seem to have problems with. Mm. But anyway, all of that to say, we are very spoiled in this country. So if you were done with wanting to hear what I made for supper, you're done. But I'm going to talk a little bit more. So we are reading books right now for school. We just finished a couple books on World War II. So we were talking about the rationing that went on during World War II. But we're also reading a book about the Great Depression and the food that people ate then. And as a country, we are very, very spoiled in the fact that we get to choose what meals we want. So I know there's probably going to be people that watch this video challenge and they're like, oh, so many potatoes. Oh, way too many carbs. Oh, you had chili like lots of days during the challenge. Oh, you ate soup all the time. Yeah, we did. Because those are things that my family enjoys. Those are things that it is easy to buy the ingredients for and kind of change up. You're going to see as I make these recipes that we're going to eat them in a variety of ways. But even if we couldn't, I'm feeding my family good, healthy food that's giving us nutrition, is filling bellies, and is what we can afford. I'm doing this challenge and we can afford more than I'm spending on this challenge right now, but I didn't do this challenge to do like bare bones, let's see if we can scrimp by on $30 a week or whatever, which there are videos out there where someone shows you. I watched one this morning that was done 4 years ago, so I don't think it can be done anymore, but it was $30 to feed her family for the week. It was Frugal Fit Mom, and I really enjoy her videos, but she's doing it like you have nothing in the house and you're trying to fill bellies. There's not fruits, there's not vegetables, there's none of that. In my challenge, I wanted to make sure that we had fruits, we had vegetables. You hear Naomi over there with a clicker. She's playing video games. She's playing the Wii Fit. We haven't had it out all summer long. We just got it out the other day because it's winter now. And so she's over there. You hear her clicking the button. But anyway, I wanted to have variety. I wanted to have good nutritious foods for us. But I also wanted to do it at a lower cost to see how long can I feed my family on this food.
Just theoretically, if you pull off 2 weeks.
Yes, I'm hoping to get 14-ish days.
That would be $600 a month, but we normally spend about $1,000 a month.
Right. And we know, like, both of us could easily tell you, oh, we don't have to buy that much of that. We don't have to buy that. Like, there's things that we buy that we don't have to buy. And I don't feel like I have to answer to you guys of what I buy, because we use our own money and we buy what we want, and that's how we buy it. And sometimes we buy treats, like when you saw the challenge that the kids did, Abigail had extra money, she bought ice cream. Sometimes we're just like, hey, we want to have a treat. And you're going to see on this challenge, I'm going to make treats for the kids. So I'm not feeling like I have to answer to you guys. That's not why I'm having this part of the video. It's one of those that I just find it interesting that in our country, we will complain if we have to eat the same dinner at home 2 nights in a row. Like, oh, I made chili last night and we're going to eat chili again tonight. But there's a lot of people who will go to Dunkin' Donuts every day and buy the exact same drink. Or they'll go to McDonald's every day and eat the exact same meal.
Yes.
Mark used to work at McDonald's. He had people that would come in and do that. He knew what their order was before they got to the counter. People who take the exact same sandwich to work every day. People who drink the exact same beer every night. Like there's a lot of things in our lives that we do that we don't like. We like the familiarity of it, but for some reason, if people make video challenges like this and they eat a lot of the same thing, people make comments about, oh, I wouldn't want to eat the same thing. But in this country, we are very, very privileged in the fact that we can be like, you know what, tacos don't sound good. Let's go to the store and buy stuff to make hamburgers, or let's go to McDonald's to grab hamburgers, or let's go buy a pizza. We live in a culture where we can do that. There are people in this world today that say, we have rice for dinner, and we're very thankful that there's not bugs in our rice tonight, because last night there were bugs in the rice. We're spoiled. And I thank God I live in a place where I don't have to pick bugs out of my rice. But we have way more than we need. And I think we forget to thank God for the little things. So I'm going to thank God that I have a little tiny boy. You want to come over here for a minute? What's wrong? You cannot find the guy in your book?
Oh, no.
We have doggies, and we have books, and we have an ice pack.
We have puppies and an ice pack and a book.
Okay, you can sit with me for a minute while I finish talking, okay? So anyway, there's a lot of things that I can thank God for. And I thank God that he gave us the $300 to be able to buy this food. And on this budget, we are able to have snacks. We are able to have food that we really like. I didn't go to the store saying, what is the cheapest food I can buy? I went to the store thinking, what kinds of meals do I like to make that I can make in a reasonable budget? But I didn't say, oh, my family hates rice and beans, but I got to buy it because it's cheap. My family actually really likes rice and beans. My family actually really likes the pork that I bought that's only $2 a pound. My family actually likes the ground turkey. The fact that I bought 3 different kinds of meat on this challenge is like a blessing in itself, because some people wouldn't have the money to be able to buy the meat, or we bought the cow and so all I have is beef to use. I have extras, other stuff to use. The fact that I have running water to be able to wash the dishes here in the house. Don't go in my kitchen right now because my kitchen's messy. It's a Sunday. We don't wash dishes. So we have running water so we can wash dishes in the house. I have hot water that comes out of my faucet. I don't have to warm it up just to be able to wash those dishes. I have a stove that works. Even though my oven, if you watched our oven fiasco of our other one, our oven stopped working well, but our burners weren't working right. So we got a new one, but our oven,
a really old new one.
Really old, yeah, new to us. The oven, I kept burning stuff and I couldn't figure out what I was doing. And then I figured out that it's not calibrated correctly or whatever. So now I know I just have to turn it down 50 degrees. But when you're cooking things at 400 degrees, that's supposed to be cooked at 350 degrees, it burns a little bit. But I have an oven and I know how it works, and I was able to buy an oven thermometer to do that. You okay? I had the ability before this challenge started that I went to the store and I got the stuff from the pantry items that I showed you on another video when we did our pantry challenge. I have other people in the house that know how to cook, because of the years that I've spent training kids up, that they are able to take over when I can't cook for whatever reason. So tonight the rolls were the messed up ones by me. But the reason that I had to make another batch of rolls was because I used her dough last night to make the bread we used for church today. The fact that we have a church family that we were able to take food and enjoy food with them today, because we had a place that we could go and worship God and not be worried that the police might come in and break it up, or that people were going to come burn out our church. The fact that I can sit here in a really well lit room in a warm house in Maine, because it's cold in Maine, and my house is plenty warm, and I don't have to worry about if I'm going to be able to pay the bills to keep heat in my house, where I know there's people that have to do that. There are people in this world that have to make some really tough decisions, and I think that most of us are not. Let's just say if you're able to watch this video on YouTube, you have a lot to be thanking God for. And even if you're not able to watch this video on YouTube, there are people that find reasons to thank God. I was talking to friends today. We were talking about Corrie ten Boom, and I don't know why I'm just doing this. Doesn't even itch. I'm just touching it. I don't know what to do with my hands. We were talking about Corrie ten Boom, and if you don't know her story, she was a Christian who lived in Poland, one of those countries over there, during World War II, and they were hiding spies. Of course, as I try to tell the story, I'm going to forget where they lived, but they weren't hiding spies. Not hiding spies. She was a Christian. It's late. I was going to do this video a while ago, but the baby wouldn't go to sleep. She's a Christian. Her family was Christian. They were hiding Jews.
Yes.
They were hiding Jews until they could sneak them out into the countryside or things like that. They made a false wall to hide the Jews behind. And when the Nazis came into their house, they knew that they had been helping the Jews, but they couldn't find the Jews. They just arrested Corrie's family and took them to a concentration camp. And at the concentration camp, they were put in one of the buildings in horrid, horrid conditions. And Corrie and her sister Betsy were thanking God for the fleas, because the guards didn't want to come into their barracks because of the fleas, and it allowed them to have Bible studies with the women in their barracks. I've never had to thank God for fleas. I can't think of anything in my life. There are things that God has brought us through that were really, really hard. And I can thank God for those things. But I've never had a persistent, long-term thing like fleas that I kept over and over thanking God for because of persistent trial that we were going through. We've had some trials, but they haven't been long-term, like sitting in a concentration camp. So if they can find things to thank God for in a concentration camp, I think in our own homes we can find something to thank God for. So list a couple things down below that you're thanking God for today that other people might not see as a blessing, something that we might overlook because it's so easy to overlook. I mean, even the fact that I have warm socks on my feet. My feet get cold sometimes and we have warm socks on.
Yes, they do.
Mark likes when I have socks on before I go to bed because then I don't freeze him with my feet. The fact that we have little boys that don't want to sleep, but they want to come in because they love their mommy and want to be in mommy's room.
And they like puppies.
You like puppies. The fact that I had a little baby who didn't want to go to sleep tonight, but he is healthy and we're home and we're not in a hospital.
And he's super adorable.
He is super adorable. That pillow is really not as close to his face as it just looked on that. I know, when Mark did that, I was like, that looks like he's
terrible in the video.
But we know people who have been in the hospital short term, just in the last week, and we know people who are in the hospital long term right now with kids. And the fact that I get to be home with my little ones. The fact that Naomi is recovering well from surgery, and it was just a day surgery, we got to come home. There's a lot to thank God for. So I hope that this video was an encouragement. I know it was more than our just normal cooking video, and we didn't have a whole lot to say. Today was boring on the cooking video. If you want to see more, come back for day 3, because there will be more cooking going on. But Sundays are always kind of boring in our house, right? Because we got stuff to do. We got shows to watch, and we've got games to play and all that, right? You ready to say goodnight? And books to read after church. All of that after our church time, right? Can you say goodbye to our viewers? No, you're too tired. You gotta take your puppies. I think he's gonna go back to his room now, right? Okay, we'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Bye. Peekaboo. 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 Hi, baby.